So I remember meeting Augusto. It was in Panama City in August of 2017. You just graduated, and now he is making this big decision whether or not to come to Penn State Law and to continue his LLM program. Do you remember that?
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
Well, it wasn't that long ago. It was like 18 months ago. But anyway. And then what I remember too, Augusto, was, I mean, I was here for August and September, and then I started doing a lot of my regular travel and lecturing and going to other universities. But I noticed whenever I was here, I saw you less frequently. There was almost like a couple of months where I felt like I did not see you, and also 700 other people. What were you doing?
I mean, we're in this adventure called the Vis Moot.
Yep. So what happened tonight? We finished on time. What time is it?
It's 10:04, but we finished at 10, so we're really happy about it.
10:04 Friday
Really
night.
glad.
Thank you, law school. Thank you.
Really there, bro.
There was this new team, this new family of 8 or 10 people. There was a student from Ghana, there was a student from Morocco, there was a student from Bosnia, there was a student from India, there was a Romanian, and there were these US students, and you guys just seemed to form this little family that just lived together, it seemed like, 24/7.
I mean, like the training rooms with us, like were like super extend. It was super long, almost every day. I feel like a professional player, like going for the Super Bowl, for the World Series. I mean, in Penn State it was like just amazing how Will and Catalina like make the team, program all the training rooms, and it was just amazing. And they said like, these people that you don't know right now, they're going to become like your best friends at the end of this road. And it happened. We're like 9 months together from day one.
I mean, you competed with 372 teams from 70-something countries. Of course, you end up winning the World Cup or the Vis Moot. So that's the accomplishment that we all remember. And I was in Vienna when I saw the team preparing. I remember once in your apartment at 2 a.m., 3 a.m., you were still preparing. So we see the end goal, the end achievement. Were there any ups and downs along the way?
I mean, I think like, and this is funny, the first down was absolutely the tryout. I remember that I was talking to Maria that we should try this. And I had like a couple of experience with moot courts, being Spanish in Latin America. And I feel like this Panamanian superstar. I'm Panamanian, so we have this cockiness like naturally. I was like, nah, I'm a superstar, I'm just going to apply, I'm going to tell Maria to go with me. She didn't have any experience. We went there, and like 2 days later, I received this email from Will. I thought he was a professor then. And it was like, thank you for participating. I was like, okay, this is going to end bad. We select another oralist, and I was like, what? I mean, this superstar feeling, it was just a hit to me, and I was like, what I should do now? Like, it was a hit of humbleness to me. And I had two options, like just stay with being a student, or like trying to be humble and just remain close to the team.
You know, you make this comparison to the World Cup, and I think it is like the World Cup. Everybody wants to participate in the World Cup since they're kids. They train, they're with different teams, and that's kind of the way it was here. And the little difference with your team, it wasn't a national team, it was an international team. So tell me, how did that help you, having a student from Romania, a student from India, a student from Bosnia, a student from Morocco, you from Panama, you know, of course, and you and their final oralist, of course, was Alice from Ghana. Tell me how that worked. Was that an advantage to you to be on an international team?
I think so, because like all the cultural background that we have, they're all different. We all came from different countries, different stories. Like when I'm with these guys, I feel like I'm with the Avengers. Like because like they all have the individual movies, and they just came together like here in Penn State to be able to have this amazing achievement. And they all provide different backgrounds, different stories, and different inputs to the teams, I think.
Well, so So now we've gone from the World Cup to the Avengers.
Yeah.
But this was also several years in the making, right? Because there were teams before you that sort of helped guide you. There was experience from the prior teams. There were orders from last year who also did some practice rounds with you. Did that help you too?
Yeah, absolutely. The ones that absolutely from this program and from the beginning, like Willem was in the past, Pranav, Kieran, also Garrett, they all like build this program with you, I think, and with Professor Rogers. And like it's just a process. Sometimes you have to respect the process of it. That's what happened to us to our preparation. Like we had several internal rounds with some teams, and we were not good. And I'm talking about me, like personally at the beginning. I was this internal round with Professor Carbonell and Professor Mathews, and I finished it and I was like, I killed it. I'm the best. And they were like the feedback, like, I really did not understand you. And I was kind of frustrated because I have these kind of problems with the English.
Ambiguous.
Ambiguous.
So I have to improve myself to do that. So that was kind of the process, like to respect the process all the time. Will and Catalina was telling us, you have to respect the process. It's just a matter like at the beginning you're going to be bad, but then you're going to improve. And all the primus that we had in New York, in Belgrade, helped us for that. Because that's the thing, you mentioned like we come from different backgrounds, but we're all like law students. So that makes us just clash our opinions. In some standpoint, there was like that really heat and really hot debate. But I mean, that's kind of like the process when you have like rocks that need to crush themselves to be able to produce diamonds.
So you broke into the round of 64, which is, that in and of itself is really an accomplishment. Then you made it to the round of 32.
Finally, we managed to adapt it, and unanimous decision was to Penn State.
At the beginning, Catalina will tell us like our mission was going to 64. So when we made it to 64, it was like, poof, a relief, and then elimination rounds. It was something really, really special for us. And the thing is that our motto was one round at a time. So like we just came together, we said just one round more. Like even the round 64, the round 32, for us was like a final round. It was it. Like we were not thinking about the final because that was like too far. It was like one round at a time, and then we can improve ourselves, and if we advance, then we have a chance. But one round at a time. That was like our motto.
The one to go through will be Pennsylvania.
It was just amazing with all of these rounds, the way to the final. There were certain rounds that I was not really sure what was going to happen, and I was kind of nervous. But I looked at the team nervous too, so I was telling them like, I have to figure out myself, be positive yourself to be able to help your team. So what I did was like, even though I have doubts myself, I was grab their heads and say like, tell me who is going to pass this round. And they were like, I don't know. No, you have to say Penn State.
So now you're in the final round of 2. This is the championship. You're in an auditorium and there are a lot of people watching, right?
A lot, it was like, say 1,900, I think, per people there. Whoosh.
And you and Alice are seated at the table, and the 2 students from Ottawa are at the other table, and you got it. The 3 judges or arbitrators there. What was your feeling when you sat at the table?
I was grateful. I was like, we did it. I mean, it was so funny to have the team of Ottawa in front of us because they came here to help us for a workshop. And it was funny all the way with that team because when they came here, we had like a showcase round with Muhamed and Alice, and I was not there. And it was a really interesting round. And I was just imagining like, why I'm not there. That's what, because I'm not ready or something. I really want to see these guys in the final because they were so good. And at that point, I called Professor Damesis when he said goodbye, and I was like, see you at the final. I had this smile like, okay. And I was like, oh man, we're here. We're here in the final against Ottawa, against Queen and Rita. They were like so good. I was so grateful to be there. And I was just there with my co-counselor, ready to do it. I think that's when you practice a lot, you have all of this preparation, at some point it just speaks for itself. And then they announced some prizes, and then like the World Championship just was with this arbiter who was going to say who won. And we're like so excited with our hands crossed, like a family. I was like, whatever it happens, it's just the will of God, and just be grateful for this. And then she said it.
Willem C. Vis International Commercial Arbitration Moot, the winner of the Eric Bernstein Prize, Pennsylvania.
So I guess my final question to you is this, we met in December of 2017. Could you have imagined this event in Vienna back in December of 2017?
Of course not. I mean, it's just like how God put everything in His way. I remember that I was with my family and we're like, okay, we're going to Penn State. I bought even the plane ticket. And then we're like, review the numbers 3 days before the plane was going to take off. And I called Isa and I said, Isa, like, I'm not going to make it. Probably next year. She told me like mi niño, like, calm down, like, shake it again. Whatever decision you take, it will be good for you. And I was like, okay, I will do it. And then there I was in Vienna with all my family from the Vis Moot, all of these great guys. It was just amazing.
Well, it sounds like it's a memory of a lifetime, and I hope you keep that with you forever.